comedy, but on the site it's called Talk Cock Comedy. Some of you might wonder, it's so rude, what are they talking about, talk cock? But actually talk cock is English. Talk cock is English for nonsense, banter, talking nonsense. So it's a very relaxed evening. But I Google all my jokes in case Mr. Shamugan tells me where I get all my facts. So I make sure my facts are right and you can verify them on site. In fact, starting with Google, that will be the keyword for tonight. Google was only invented in 1920 by a mathematician who was only 9 years old. And Google, G-O-O-G-O-L, means 1 with 100 zeros behind. It's not the largest number that you can imagine, it's the second largest number imaginable. And Google will be the keyword because you promised me to Google everything that you're not sure of that you hear tonight, just to verify for yourself the truth of it. Think of it. Thanks to President Trump, you now have the idea of fake news. But if you were born with fake news, how do you separate true news from fake news? And luckily we have Google. You can verify for yourself. And worst come to worst, you can check with Snopes. But who verifies whether Snopes is telling the truth or not? So you can go on layer after layer. What will be the basis of the jokes? Think about it. When you have cock, you get this double meaning. You could be an organ member, or you could just be a rooster. The English is so paradoxical. When you say clap, it could mean clapping, or it could be a transmitted disease. And even the innocent word like papaya, in Cuba, papaya means vagina. And Mitt Romney made the mistake in 2012, saying he liked sweet papayas. And the Latinos are saying, no, that's a Latino slang for vagina. And think about it, a simple word like busy, B-U-S-Y. Why do you pronounce B-U-S-Y as busy? It should be busai, right? Busai. But because of sheer use, you call it busy. And the original meaning of busy was to be troublesome, meddlesome. That's why you call it a busybody. And the slang for busy is to be sexually promiscuous. And then the meaning changed. Now everybody wants to be as busy as possible to look important. That's why you're always on your phone looking for your messages, because you want to be busy. If you're not busy, you have no value. That's how things shift. Today is the second month of Ramadan. Any Muslims in the house give a shout? No Muslims. Any Christians in the house give a shout? Christians? Yeah. Okay. At 2015, there was 1.8 billion Muslims in the world and 2.2 billion Christians in the world. And I'm not going to make any Virgin Mary jokes because both the Muslims and the Christians believe in immaculate conception. See, I did my research. Can you imagine if you make jokes about virgin birth and then you find out that you have 4 billion people that believe that against you? You better do your homework. But with the latest research, it's possible that there is virgin birth because you're looking at it from a human perspective. You're talking about divine stuff. You're talking about metaphysical beings coming into planet Earth. So the latest memo about the universe is that the universe is a computer simulation. Even Elon Musk subscribes to that. The universe is a computer simulation. Which means that if you're fighting over the old stuff and you don't get the new memo, you miss out. You miss out on what's really happening. So the truth is, who gets the latest memo? If you did not get the latest memo, you'll be relying on old information and you might be fighting for something that is not even true anymore. Think about it. Old Testament mentions an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And if you read that and you execute that, follow that, you'll be such a great warrior fighting for your God, eye for an eye, truth for a truth. But the New Testament says, turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. So who got the latest memo and who is following the latest memo? So thank God for Donald Trump. When he mentioned fake news, suddenly the whole world is alive and conscious of what is true and what is actually not true. A simple thing like 9/11, if you Google 9/11 and false flags attacks, then you have documented evidence of 43 events of false flag attacks that has happened throughout the history of the world. A false flag attack is when you create an event and blame it on some other people. And if you Google that, you find out an incredible treasure trove of information that you did not know before because you were reading fake news. Because all history is written by the victors. My mom doesn't like me. It took me 60 years to find that out. My mom loves me, but she doesn't like me. How do I know that? You know, when you're small, when you're sleeping well, they wake you up to go to school. When you're having fun playing, they bring you in